Hello, I'm Samuel Griffin. I'm one of the 4 regional sales managers for Logic, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of 2 of our very popular models from our professional salt spreader range. We've got our GDS 250 and our GDS 150. Professional machines, stainless steel hoppers, give you good corrosion protection. All the steel components, specialist paint treatment, so you're going to be protected from that aggressive salt that you're putting through these machines. So the secret to this machine working so well is the mechanical agitation system. It's a ground drive machine. It takes its drive from the axle, puts the power via a simple V-belt system through a spur gearbox that does the low speed movement of the conveyor belt. And then you've got secondary belt drive to the rear gearbox. Now this does the mechanical agitation of the wet aggregates, the rock salts in the hopper. And it's quite simply, as this machine pulls forward, you've got an eccentric cam in here, which is agitating the spring steel and the agitator in the middle of the hopper. At the rear of the machine, we've got the drop chute. Very important feature on this drop chute are the 2 distribution plates where the salt comes down the drop chute and onto the disc. With these set centrally, so you look down and you can see the white cone either side, that will give you a good 50-50 spread on this machine. Now if you were to push one of these plates over to the far side and the other one slightly just into the middle there, that will give you up to 10%, 90% spread. So you can go 10% one side, 90% the other. This works particularly well if you're on site work and you're on a one-way system, cars coming around, you can drive up and throw it across the carriageways without interfering with any other traffic then. With the rear disc on here, you've got the distribution cone that the salt will come down, it then picks up on the flights. Because it's a nice flat bottom disc, it will throw the salt off and across the ground. So spread widths with this machine, it will spread between 1.5 to 14 metres, depending on gearbox spec, between the forward speeds of 5 to 15 miles an hour. Because it throws the salt off and squirts it across the ground, you can actually spread amongst parked cars without risking any paint damage, pebble dashing, shot blasting the side of a vehicle with wet rock salt. Another unique feature on the GDS models is the conveyor belt scraper, just situated underneath the belt here. That will just keep any wet or sticky debris from rock salt components and scrape it clean on the conveyor belt there, just to keep the machine at optimum performance and operation. Very simple engagement mechanism with this machine, over center lever. So when you get to where you want to start spreading your aggregates, your wet rock salts, your de-icing products, you simply push this lever over and it engages the machine into drive. So as you pull forward, it will take up the belt drive that's just tensioned up on the axles. So as the eccentric cam on the rear of the machine rotates, this agitator bar is moving from side to side, backwards and forwards, and it will break down any compacted rock salts. So it doesn't matter whether you've got a 2, 3, 4-year-old pile of wet rock salt in the corner of your yard, it will consistently come out the back of the machine like freshly mined salts out of the mines at Winsford. As long as it's broken down through the grid on the top, it will consistently come out the back. So calibration with the GDS machines, all the same. You've got this rear distribution chute, you can limit the amount of salt coming out. There's a representation scale on here from 0 to 10. And we give a guidance in the user manual of grams per square metre that you can actually calibrate these machines to. So it doesn't matter which machine on the range, we can cover anything from 5 grams to 85 grams per square metre of wet rock salt coverage. Typical sort of pre-frost into frost in the early hours of the morning application rates, you're going to be looking at anything from 15 to sort of 20-25 grams per square metre. Now, an important feature with the back end of this machine, you've got a manual agitation bar here. So if you, for example, have put your 600 kilograms of wet rock salt in here, you've bounced across the site a couple of miles, and it's all settled in the bottom of that V-shaped hopper. Before you manually engage the machine, just drop the agitation bar onto the manual agitation lever, give it a good shake. Once you've given it a good shake with the manual agitation lever, you can engage and you can pull away. You'll be spreading salt immediately. It'll be coming over the back, down the drop chute, and it just means you're spreading salt from when you first pull away rather than waiting 6 to 10 meters, for example. With this model, this is the R-Spec, so it's fitted up with full road lighting on the rear. It's got the optional amber beacon on here, which can be turned on and off independently of side lights being on. As health and safety requirement of salt spreading on sites, you need rear lights, amber flashing beacon. It's also got mud guards, so you're not going to get any wet spray, road salts flicking everywhere over the machine. All the backing on the light boards, all the components, stainless steel on the back here, so it's very much protected from the elements, and the back end of the machine where you're spreading the rock salt out from. Standard fitment on all Logic products, we've got our 360 swivel hitch, breakaway cable, so you can hook it on if anything becomes detached. With this model, it's an R-Spec, so it's got the full road lighting on it. You've got your 7-pin electric socket on here and a park position when it's not in use. Standard feature on the GDS 250, demount jack system, so you can actually put this jack, leave it sat on there. So if you do need to load this machine up with salt the night before you're going out in the early hours of the morning, it's quick and easy to back the towing vehicle under it. So with the GDS 250, this is, just to recap, it's approximately 600 kilogram capacity of wet rock salt. And we do also do our baby machine, which is the GDS 150. Now this, with a full hopper, will give you approximately 325 kilograms of wet rock salt, depending on moisture content. This model does give you the option of towing it behind a quad bike. It meets all the health and safety weights and measures, so you can legally tow this model behind a quad bike in conjunction with one of our System 20s and a snowplow, so you suddenly turn your ATV into the perfect winter maintenance vehicle. So the GDS 150 takes all its workings from its big brother, the 250. So you've still got a mechanical agitation system. It's still land drive. You've just got it in a much more compact package. The engagement levers on the side of the machine with this, but you've still got that same good basic workings at the back, which means this will reliably spread compacted wet rock salt time and time again. With this model that we've got on display here, this is the S model, so it doesn't have the light boards, it doesn't have the mud guards, and this hasn't got the optional cover on the top or the flashing beacon. But we can build up a spec to suit your requirements, your site requirements, your salt spreading requirements. These are just two of the popular machines that we sell at Logic. We have a comprehensive range of professional salt spreaders, which covers anything from single site use, fast road tow, forklift mounts, pickup mounted, so you can turn your VAT qualifying pickup into a self-propelled salt spreader, 3-point linkage machines for compact tractors, demount units for side-by-side buggies and pickups.